So here's a quick tutorial on how to create a custom create session using innovationengineeringlabs.com. Now what you're going to do is you're going to start in the projects section under create sessions, and when you land there the first time, this is what your screen is going to look like. No sessions found. You're going to have project folders set up on the left hand side, and it's going to ask you, do you want to start or create a new session? It's going to bring you back to this page every time you click on create sessions. What's going to be nice is you're going to start to create an inventory of all the sessions you've done, what the name of the playlist that you used, who you were, session team, and also the session date. So it creates a nice sort of library, if you will, of the things you've done so far. First time through, you're going to click start on new create session. And from this point, you're going to have two choices. You're either going to create your own all the way through, or you're going to borrow one that we've already kind of created for you. So if you wanted to borrow one, here's some shared playlists, as well as any of my playlists, which are not listed because I don't have any yet. So I can use one of these existing ones, or I can build my own completely from scratch. Once you select a playlist from the left-hand side there, you can see I picked that new products one. You're going to see what is contained within that playlist. It's much like iTunes for the Apple, right? It's going to show you all the songs in your playlist. In this case, it's going to show you all the exercises in your playlist, the recommended amount of time that each one takes, and the total runtime of using all these exercises. At the moment, you're going to see that there's no downloads here because I haven't downloaded it, and it's a new system, so no one has. And I can even go so far as to mark it as a favorite. If I know I've used it a few times and I really like it, if I mark it as a favorite, a little heart's going to show up to show me and remind me that this is indeed one that I really like. At the bottom, we're going to see each time that I use this playlist and start to update my effectiveness scores by handing out a survey to the participants at the end of using these particular exercises and gathering data from them. I'm going to start to see my effectiveness scores from using this playlist. But in this case, what you're probably most interested in is use this playlist, which is I'm selecting this playlist. We're going to move on to the next step. Now you can see here at the top we've created a simple little navigation so you know where you are in the process. We've selected a playlist. Next step, now what we're going to do is we're going to customize the playlist. Then we'll add in some session details and send an invitation out to the team. Now for each one of these customizations, you're going to be given the opportunity to create a custom PDF that has all the exercises you want, that has your text or type built right in. So you can see from this playlist, for each one of the exercises that we have, it's going to ask us about different fields. So for instance, here I can see there's a number 1 here. I can customize this field. There's the mind dump exercise that's asking me I want to create ideas for what. So I want new products for my coffee cup business, whatever that might be. And if I have any specific thought starters, I could put those in and they would feed in as well. I can do customizations for fields for, in this case, again, the lawbreaker was chosen, so I can put in a header for lawbreaker. So let's say, in this case, what I do is when I create ideas for revolutionary, coffee drink, service ideas, things that might push the envelope a little. And then I could even start off by saying what are some laws that we always do, what are the things that we never do, by listing or answering all the prompts that are given along the page. I can also not fill in any of this, and it just means those fields will be left blank and we can have participants do that part of the exercise. On the next page, on session details, you're going to give some details that's going to help guide the team and exactly what we're aiming to do during this particular create session. You want to give the session a title. In this case, I want coffee cup ideas. Explain the request, which always lines up against the innovation request system. So we are creating ideas. We need ideas for new coffee cups that customers will pay a premium for. I can give some optional background, right? We've tried this before. Too small thinking. Want big ideas. People are willing to spend, our research shows. Or whatever relevant background might help. Don't request, so we're not interested in tea, we're not interested in cold. We want to stay focused on hot coffee cup ideas. Any constraints that we might have, and any notes for the team. whatever those might be. You also want to say what date your session is going to be, and then you enter in the session location. And what this does is it uses Google Maps to basically place this on a map for your team. So if, for instance, you're holding your session at the zoo or any kind of fanciful place, or if it's just your regular headquarters, and you want to be able to make sure that it's clear for people coming in from out of town, where to go, whatever that might be. We want a geographical location. You want to make sure that you don't type in the title of the place, just the location, because Google Maps is going to map it for you, and it doesn't key off of the names of places. Once I put in my session details, you can see what we've started to build here is a custom web page that my team's going to be directed to. Now here we've already been parroted back what we put in for information about our session. What's also going to be given to the team as their homework assignments is completing the online assessment beforehand. That gives us some insight into their perceptions and the reality of the team before we walk in. They'll be prompted to listen to the audio of Innovation Engineering so they kind of understand the framework under which we're going to operate. And they're also given a link to create and use the Innovation Request System to start preceding and looking for stimulus before they walk into the session. By using this playlist tool, you actually create an innovation request at the same time as you create the playlist. So it does it for you, so you don't have to create two things in two separate places. Again, it's going to show back what the session details are. Now you can see that map that Google created for us so everybody knows how to get here. And now I have to figure out who I'm going to invite to the team. So let's go on to the next, and we'll save this and we'll invite our team through. Here it works like all the other places where we invite people to be parts of projects, where we start to type in email addresses, and anybody we've worked with so far is going to come up from a drop-down list, and I can start to put my team together pretty quickly. I'm going to invite some people from outside, so Stacy@yahoo.com, separated with a comma, and let's do a George. You can see I've added them in, so they're all listed as part of my project team. So I'm going to save that. And now they're going to become part of the project that I'm putting together here. So here now I'm given the ability to be able to send them an email. I want to send a copy to myself, and I'll send that email off. So now the system has sent an invitation off to my team, so they'll be invited to come back and to go follow my email instructions, as well as come back to my Create Session page, where they're going to see all the details of the session. Now that my invitations are out, my team has been invited, I can come back to this page that loads, that repeats again everything that my team will have seen. So my team will see the exact same stuff on the top of the page. They'll see the team members, they'll see all the information and details that I passed on to them. And at the bottom, I'm going to see some stuff that only I see as a black belt. So I'll be able to review the results of the online assessment that they take, which is the assessment that they take before every session to help us to understand their attitudes and opinions before they walk into the room. I'll be given the ability to put in my effectiveness survey results. So at the conclusion of the session and the download, I'll be given surveys to hand out to everybody who participated in the session. And here's where I'm going to be able to enter their results. Then at the very bottom of the screen, you're going to see the session playlist, where you can download the PDF of the customizations you've made to the exercises you pulled down. And every time you download a session playlist, we give you some extra materials in there, just in case you might forget them in the process. First up, in every download, you're going to get the session playlist, which basically reminds you of what you need to do before the session, what you need to set up the room, any materials that you might need and how many and how they're printed, as well as kind of a general agenda and timeline. You're also going to get a copy of the concept card that you remember. In the previous page on the concept checklist, we even give you the details as to how to print it. But there's a copy of the concept card. And then we get into your customized exercises. So as you remember, every field that I typed into, it's now fed that forward into this custom PDF. Anything that I typed into shows up, and the things that I didn't, so you remember I skipped 666, obviously just leaves it blank, so it just shows it to be filled in later. So I see all the exercises that were part of my playlist. Next up, you'll see that we concluded the concept pitch sheet, because most likely those ideas will have to turn into something, so you may need that for free writing. We've also included the define packet, so the ideas that you pick that have the most likelihood of moving forward, that people are excited about and that they love. You can print out the define packet so that they're asked to complete the customer concept, the math game plan, as well as the learning plan. At the end of the packet here, of all the stuff that you get when you download a playlist, you're also going to get that effectiveness survey. So these are the results that you're going to go back into the website and you're going to type in the results of these survey comments that you gave to each one of the participants. So at the end of the session, you're going to hand one of these out to every single participant. They're going to be asked with the exercise blank, how effective were you in generating quantity and quality of ideas? It automatically fills in for you the exercises that you used. So you just have to distribute the survey, collect it back, and then what you're going to do is you're going to go back into your labs page, and in that section that says enter the results of those surveys, you're going to go in, you're going to say how many people were at your session, how many idea cards you came up with, so maybe that were 15. And then all you're going to do is put in the responses that each person gave to each question asked. Now you can see if I want to get back to that page, my create session page, under projects and create sessions, I have an inventory of all the create sessions that I've run, so I could always hop right back into that session at any point so I can see where I am. I can also start to organize everything with folders just like I can in other sections. So let's say I want to start to track which ones I'm doing for the coffee division. I can start to create a whole folder that just starts to represent all the things that I've done so far for that coffee division. So I'm just going to make sure that that goes into my folder there so I can see all the activity and sessions I've run for them. And what if none of the playlists that are already in there look good to you? What if you want to create one completely from scratch? You can. Click on Start New Create Session and we can build our own custom session. Got to give the playlist a name, so let's call it Fast and Furious. And the mission, 5-minute blitz exercises, because I want to go really quickly to create lots of quick ideas. So I want to use the mind map. I'm going to drag that over. Pass the buck is great for speed. I think Lawbreaker would be a good one. And let's try kick it up a notch and Poe. Poe's always great. We can move that quickly. No, I'm not gonna share this one just yet because I'm not feeling real confident about it yet. Or I can choose yes, I want to share that playlist, and I can save my playlist. And then it's going to show it in my list. So I can see my playlist, I've got the Fast and Furious, and now I can see it there. I can use this playlist right now, so I can hop right in there to be able to customize it as I need to, or if I don't even have time to customize, I can download the playlist as is for an instant session, and it's going to shoot me the PDF to be able to download with no customization. So I can jump right in. Literally, you just saw me do it, 60 seconds or less, and you can have a collection of exercises that you need, print them right out, take them in, and you're ready to go.